Hey everybody, thanks for joining today. And Michelle, thank you as well for joining. For those of you not familiar, Michelle Guss is on the line. She's worked with Crestron since 2007. Today, she is the Director of Residential Business Development for Crestron North America. And she recently got inducted into the Women in Consumer Technology class of 2021. That's super exciting. We'll be talking about that here in a little bit. Michelle spends most of her time today developing relationships and partnerships with the design build community, which includes architects and interior designers and developers and so on. And we'll be talking about that here as well. So without further ado, let's get right into it.
Sorry, I didn't hear any of the last thing that you said. I'm working from home right now, and dogs were barking in the background. I apologize for that. I didn't hear the last thing.
Well, no worries. We'll definitely be chiming in on that bit because so many of us are working from home these days, and I think we should definitely touch on that during this conversation today. Wanted to ask you, well, first of all, congratulations. You were inducted into the Women in Consumer Technology class of 2021. That's pretty awesome.
Yes.
So how does one go about getting in there? Just kind of curious, like how that came about.
Well, that actually, that was a peer nominated award. So that was something that, Crestron, myself, and other women at Crestron have been a part of the Women in Consumer Technology group for years. And so I was very blessed that another fellow woman in the industry actually nominated me for that. And it was something that I was extremely honored to receive. And it's a fantastic group that really supports women in this industry, and there's also connect groups that you can get involved in as well if you want to just network with other professional women in the industry. So it's just a really fantastic thing that supports all the women out there that are working side by side in the industry.
So maybe for those that would want to join the group, do you have any advice of where they might start to do that?
Yeah, so they have their own website. I will go ahead and actually put that in the comments. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head.
Sure.
But yeah, so the Women in Consumer Technology, they've got their own website. They've got a great link in there if you want to get connected to it. And you basically can join the group. If you're a company, you can join as a sponsor to support the group. And then if you are a woman that wants to get connected, then you have the ability to join one of those connect groups. So it's womeninconsumertechnology.org is the website for that.
Okay, very cool. Well, thanks for sharing that. I was just curious. So that's pretty awesome, though. Congratulations.
Yeah, that's great.
Before we get into some of the other topics that obviously relate to our industry and some of the stuff that we'll talk about naturally, I think one of the things that people are struggling with these days is the always on aspect of technology. And, we don't very often talk about ways to disconnect or, go off the grid, so to speak. And I know recently you did chime in a little bit on this topic just on through your social media account, and so I just wanted to kind of see if you have any advice for people, what you're doing that's working well for you or what maybe else can try.
Yeah, so right now, as we've all transitioned to the working from home environment, I'm sure many of you out there can relate to this. I find myself having more and more meetings than ever before because they all stack consistently back to back throughout the day. So I just got off a call right before I jumped on this Instagram live, and I have another one right afterwards. So it's it definitely can begin to feel that Zoom fatigue or Zoom exhaustion. It's a real thing. And so I think kind of setting aside time to recharge is even more critical today than ever before. So whether that is taking an extended, vacation, just wherever you might be able to get to safely right now, because of course the pandemic is happening, is really kind of going to be the key to that. And I found, just doing the things that I love, like incorporating yoga, it's a big part of what I do, as well as hiking, just kind of helps to keep things balanced. And you really have to make time for yourself, although a lot of times, you know, you may feel kind of guilty setting aside time for yourself, but it does make you an even better person and even more productive. And that's been a huge key, because I think day in and day out, just working from home, it can start to take a toll.
I think you make a good point. It's the aspect of not feeling guilty for doing it for yourself, right? Because we give all to everybody, right? So if some of us could overcome that, I know I'm one of those people, so I'm just kind of speak for myself, but I mean, 10, 15 minutes goes a long way, right? So it's just, you know, blocking it in.
Absolutely. And just kind of setting a time to do it. Maybe if you're a morning person, I certainly am. I like to do that stuff before I start my work day. But, you know, maybe it's at the end. Maybe it's, you know, taking a little lunch break and doing something, but just kind of getting active, moving your body. You know, you're sitting at your desk, you know, looking at your screen all day. It's just really nice to keep that balance right now, which I think is so important.
It is. It's super important.
Mm-hmm.
So speaking of the work from home, right? With this transition, technology is definitely adapting like it always does. And so just for a minute, obviously, let's shift to what is Crestron doing to help people work from home and stay connected and support all the latest services and everything that we're all trying to connect with?
Yeah, so Crestron has done a fantastic job of being able to, I think this is a bit of an overused word in the pandemic, but pivot. We were able to leverage a lot of the UC enterprise grade technology that we have for the commercial space and be able to kind of take that technology and adapt it for the work from home environment. And it's something that I am actually using every day. I have one of our MM30Rs right on my desk, which is a product that allows you to control all the technology in your home and also to connect to your calls in a seamless way. We're using the microphone and speaker, which is a very high quality in this device, versus having to be stuck, you know, right in front of your computer. So it's great for me because if I am on a call and I'm not sharing video at that time, I can get up, I can walk around my office, and I can still hear everything very clearly and speak, and everyone can hear me. And then we also, of course, came out with Crestron Home Time, which is the most natural way for you to be able to join a Zoom call. So it really extends beyond just the home office and really into other areas of the home, like your living room, for example. Basically anywhere where you have a display, you can put this Crestron Home Time device there, and it will natively connect to your Zoom account and to any of those meetings that you might have. So it's great for the learn from home environment as well, for students that are going to school from home and maybe they want to utilize the living room as their classroom, because you have the ability to just have a very natural interaction with it, you know, from the comfort of your couch or from the comfort of a table in the room. So it's really been some great solutions to help people transition. And I've heard a lot of feedback. You know, it's been out now for several months. So it's just been great to hear from our customers about how much it's been able to enhance their lifestyle.
You mentioned the word pivot. I look at Crestron pretty much every day just for all the stuff that we're doing for commercial and residential. And it felt like there was one day recently where hundreds of SKUs got dropped into this environment with Crestron Flex and all this stuff, right, to address both home and commercial, to support Teams and home, Zoom, and, you know, BYOD, bring your own device. And so we're also, you know, adapting to take advantage of those latest hardware and software features, because I, for one, am like super blown away and impressed with what we're able to do, a lot of it. And, you know, our clients are like, yes, please, you know, they're like, sign us up, let's go, you know, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's been so great, you know, for us to have this offering where it really is, there's a huge need for it, and you're providing this solution that is critical. And, you know, even what we're doing right now here on this live Instagram, right. I used to come, you know, Tyson and, you know, the QAV showroom there that you're kind of seeing in the background, it actually won best showroom for Crestron in the world. And it has been a space where normally I would come there in person and I would be doing these types of, events and talks and CEUs and whatnot in person. But now there's just such a need for this virtual communication. And it's been great that we have all of these new solutions with Flex and with Crestron Home Time, as well as the Crestron MM30R to all connect virtually. It's been really great to have that offering.
Absolutely. So maybe let's take a step back in time, right, where we're talking about some of the solutions that we're deploying now, but of course there's planning and wiring, all kinds of stuff that's needed to support that. So this one's kind of more for the design build community, my question here. And you spend a lot of time with design build partners, and so as they're going through and developers are building these properties, whether it's residential or commercial, right, what are some of the things that they could take into account during that process? What should they be thinking about to make sure that their project's a success from a technology perspective as well?
Yeah, so when we're starting to talk about, any type of developer or builder who might be building a home, the biggest thing to consider is what the client's needs are today and also for the future. And that's going to allow the infrastructure to be put in place to make that home be able to adapt to those clients' needs as they might change into the future. So things like having the proper pre-wire in place for any technology that might be added later is really critical. There's a lot that can be done wirelessly, but if you're in a design build stage and you have walls open and you have the ability to run the wire, it's still something that is going to be the most reliable form of communication for these electronics in the home. So one of the things that Crestron, all Crestron products and Crestron Home especially delivers is scalability. And that's really the key thing. And having a project where maybe you have a developer, maybe it's a multifamily luxury condominium project, for example, and that developer does want to do just a small sampling of technology in each unit just to show those buyers and those potential homeowners, hey, this is a smart property. They can easily do things like maybe a little bit of lighting control, some HVAC, and then as long as the pre-wire is in place, any additional technology that might come after that can easily be added. So things like running pre-wire to window locations where they may want to do motorized window coverings. Things like adding pre-wire for speakers if they're going to let the buyer want to add their own speakers, and then also pre-wiring for video solutions as well. So those are really the key things. And then also to the design build professionals that are watching this, collaborating with a company like Quality Audio Video early on in the project is 100% key to a successful project. You want to have these conversations about what those needs are for your clients early on, so that everything can be properly planned and the deployment of that system goes smoothly, and you don't have a place in the home where you've designed a beautiful wall covering with a piece of art that the integrator may come in and want to put a big TV on that wall. So collaboration very early on and discussing when the project is still in the planning phase and on paper is really going to be critical.
Yeah, well said. You got to plan, and we always find that the most successful projects that we're involved in had us involved from a very early stage, well before permitting and that sort of thing. So very nice. So we both mentioned a Crestron Home, and we haven't really exactly explained what that is, but on this one, I'm almost kind of thinking there's some people that are maybe generating a level of anxiety when it comes to technology. So maybe just thinking of Crestron Home in general and how it's addressing and helping people, more readily use the technology that they have access to.
Yeah, that's such a good point, and it is something that we as a brand, Crestron has listened to the feedback of our dealers, of our end users, and of the design build community. And so Crestron Home was really designed with simplicity in mind. And with the way that the interface works, it's something that not only is easy and simple for you to deploy, but it's also something easy and simple to be able to make customizations, changes to scenes, and things like that. So it allows for someone who might be a little timid about using the technology to use something that's simple, gives them more comfort. And that's really what Crestron Home is it's a simple solution. Also, I see our design showroom manager on here, Joseph DeSanto, smart tech is a necessity. He's absolutely right. It's something that, you know, by 2022, over half the homes in America are expected to be smart in some way or another. And so as buyers are kind of expecting more technology in these homes, it's causing a lot of the design build professionals that might be timid about it to take that plunge and to learn more. And that's really, I think, what is so great about, you know, what you can provide in your beautiful showroom that you have there. It's also a great thing that we can provide in our showroom spaces too, if somebody wants to experience what the technology is and just kind of heighten that comfort level. That's the best way. And I'll tell you, I am by no means an engineer. I'm a salesperson at Crestron, but I can actually set up and configure my own Crestron Home system here, change my scenes, and make those changes myself. And that says a lot because I'm not an engineer.
That, right? Like, if there's anything that people are going to take away from this bit, you know, historically, right, the programs in the background and the level of expertise that it took to bring these things to life also meant that if someone wanted to change a light level or a name of a scene, like their good morning scene and stuff, right? Like they were reliant on either maybe at some point a truck roll or in recent times at least, you know, someone's attention from a remote support to make those changes and push them over to the house or the business. And that's been a huge one. And two, Crestron Home for us, I mean, I wish I could just capture clients' reactions when they're getting the handover for the first time. It's something we're actually working to do now because instantly people are just like, wow, like, oh my gosh, like smiling ear to ear. And these are people who've already had Crestron systems, already had technology. They're used to and accustomed to really high levels of tech. And so, you know, to get those same reactions just requires a greater delta in what you're delivering. So it's an absolute testament to what we're able to do with our technical expertise and on the Crestron Home platform in particular.
I love hearing that. I think you should maybe do a live reaction with the client because it's amazing. Oh, I'm seeing Rose has to go. Bye. So yeah, that's great feedback to hear. And that's really what the whole entire goal was of creating the Crestron Home platform.
We've mentioned the showroom a couple times. One of the reasons that we wanted this facility in the first place was to be a vehicle to help, you know, teach the design build community and more about what we do and support them through continuing education credits and these CEUs that needed to get. We were starting to roll out some pretty successful programs in doing those CEUs here, and COVID hit. So this is of particular interest to a lot of people right now because our partners are trying to ask, you know, again, like what are the different ways that they can get these CEUs these days, and obviously it's something that you're heavily involved in. So for the design build community and interior designers and architects and such that need CEUs, can you chime in a little bit about what you're seeing out there, the trends, and maybe how they can go about getting some more CEUs?
Yeah, so we do have about 3 CEUs that Crestron has created as a brand. Those consist of a technology overview. It's called our Interior Tech 101 course. And then we have one focused on lighting and one focused on shades. I would say that by far right now, the biggest topic that we're teaching of those 3 is going to be that Interior Technology 101. And that really just goes to what we were just talking about a few minutes ago, which was the fact that technology is a necessity in these homes now. And so the design build professionals are being asked for that. So it's a really great way for an architect or an interior designer to not only earn their IDCEC or AIA credits, but it also is a great way for them to learn about all of the technology as kind of a very large overview of what is out there and what's available. The other side of what we have are the CEDIA courses that our professional organization, CEDIA, has created. There's 11 of those. And of those topics, again, you've got some overviews, and then you also have some kind of specific topics that hone in on lighting, shades, greener living, for example. But probably the most popular of those courses is the Hidden Technology course. And that talks about different ways to have a lot of this technology that we've touched on in a space, and have it be either blended with the existing design in a room and with your design vision, or it could also be completely hidden away as well. So those are going to be the two most popular courses. We do have a great design build partner program at Crestron, where as part of that program, we provide these CEU credits. So it's something that is really a powerful tool for the design build professionals out there.
Yeah, absolutely, right? So it gives them a chance to get their credits, learn about something that's going to hopefully be very valuable to their projects in this year or the years to come. We find, you know, you've been here before in our showroom, but you know, we have a room that we've called Hidden Technology. And I've had firsthand experience of just witnessing just how many people aren't aware of the level of hidden that can be, right? So if you have a design team and people are communicating and collaborating and the ideas are flowing, you know, there's a lot that you can do to high tech. And so much of it is reliant on that design build phase with the architect and the design build team.
Well, even right behind you too.
Yeah.
Really cool. You know, if you're looking at this, you're probably looking at that thing, oh, that's a really cool, you know, piece of art behind there. But what is that really?
Yep, totally. Right. So
That's a speaker, right?
What's that?
That's a speaker wall right behind.
So this is a piece by Leon Speakers in Ann Arbor, Michigan, dubbed the Sound Sculpture. And what's so cool about it is an amazing piece that blends audio with the arts. And, you know, for us, that's the intersection of design and technology at its best. And the best thing too is this is something that we want the artists in the community, the interior designers in the community, and the architects, these people on the design build team, to help actually drive the design of this, not us, right? So this is just one that we came up with Leon Speakers. And, you know, Noah's the creative genius behind this one right here. But ones that have been like metal dragons and all kinds of cool stuff, right? Because it's your opportunity to make it your own and fit in your environment with your interior design.
Yeah, that's such a great example right behind you. I wish I had something cool behind my boring wall now to move to this place. This is my first Instagram live, so I was trying to get set up, but
I know it's a little bit scramble at the end there. So those were the main questions I had for you today. There's one question that we've kind of come up with that we've been asking people. It's just kind of a fun, off-the-cuff type of question. If everybody in Colorado had one blimp, like a Goodyear blimp that was floating by, and they had to look at this every day message, would you put on there for them to see?
Of course, Crestron is the best. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Honestly, I think right now what we all need as humans, you know, really is love. So I would put "You Are Loved" on there. That's what I wanted to say. Very
cool. That's awesome. Well, Michelle, I know you have calls back to back today, so I want to keep you on. Thank you so much for taking the time. I really appreciate it. It means a lot.
Thank you so much. I appreciate being here. Thanks everybody who joined us. And I'm really, really happy to have you as a partner and that you're doing this, because I think it's so important to stay connected even during these times. So really fantastic job. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. All right, Michelle, take care. Everybody, take care. We'll see you guys. Bye.